Amari. Wrestling Kickback's gonna make you sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party. Moolah Ric Flair, showing out like Bianca Belair, Best podcast, flush it in the air, Roman Reigns and we win it, don't care, No cap. Throw 'em up, lay it down just like that Amari. Wrestling Kickback's gonna make you sorry. Feeling like The Rock cause I'm driving in Ferraris. And we coming every week and it's feeling like a party.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Wrestling Kickback Podcast, where we relax and chop it up about wrestling. You know, it's our party. We can do whatever we want here. And with me today, as you can see, my amazing co-host isn't here, but we have our amazing guest. I've lost count how many times you guys have been on because I just love coming back to you guys. The Black and Snerdy Podcast, my best friends, Mo and OD. How are y'all doing?
We are doing good.
We are fantastic today, Maury. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Wrestling Kickback.
Yay. Yeah. Yes. I'm so glad. There's just WrestleMania sneaks up on me every year. I don't understand how it does when they advertise it like 20 times a day, but I'm always like, oh crap, that's this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so Matt is not here. He is away for work, but I had to hold down the kickback while he's gone. So we always come in live after WrestleMania just to get like our raw reactions about what just happened. Like, because it just happened, it's new. We're just reacting to everything. And then next week, me and Matt will come back to break down every single thing that went on at WrestleMania and the fallout. I think that's the best part about this, you guys, is like we get our raw reactions to what we see. We can do a live speculation on where we think things are going next. And then we come up and follow it up and see what they give us next week. So, and we're not going to be here too long. It's really late at night. So if you've been following the wrestling, the former wrestling wrap up, now wrestling kickback, you know the deal. You know, we come in here, we give it to you hot and raw, and then we leave. Like Nick Cannon. No.
Yep, that's our motto. Like Nick Cannon.
Yes. So first and foremost, Mo, Odie, okay. I need your overall thoughts of WrestleMania weekend, like in general, just overall thoughts. Give me a grade out of 1 out of 10. Mo, you go first.
From a 1 to a 10, I'd say a solid 8. I think that the second night was probably a lot more fun than the first night. Not to say that anything was bad on the first night. It just I think that the second night had more going on than the first night. And if anything, I would say that the first night's ending retroactively made the rest of the night pretty good, or elevated the rest of the night. Whereas the second night started off strong and kind of maintained the momentum all the way up until the end.
Okay, I can see that. Odie, what about you? What were your thoughts overall for this weekend?
I agree. And I definitely feel like it was purposely done like that, of like having like first night, obviously, like the thing about WrestleMania, it's always like spectacular. There's all these lights, all these colors, the outfits are great, people are popping up all over the place. You're like, oh, Steve Austin, or something like that. Like, you know, it's gonna be fun. But I definitely feel like because the Cody Rhodes and the John Cena match was going to be like, it was such a like historic night that they had to end out on a bang. And they did. I thought that the John Cena and Cody Rhodes did a great job. It definitely was one of the top matches of the night, in the sense of like, it's giving you shock, it's giving you awe, it's like you're like kind of jumping out of your seat. So I agree. I would give it an 8 as well.
And also a wild Travis Scott appears.
Yeah. Maybe that could have made it 5, but maybe it would have been 8.5. It wasn't for him. I just I don't understand how these random ass people always end up being like, oh yeah, we're wrestling fans. Like, no, you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You all are just jumping on the bandwagon the same way people are jumping on anime or jumping on reading because they're
Reading.
full of fans. I mean, book talk has exploded, and a lot of the books are terrible because people are just jumping on the bandwagon. But I mean, it's a double-edged sword because you have to deal with Travis Scott, but that also means there's more people who would not have. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Alexa, stop.
Well, while y'all get Alexa to stop,
Kitchen
my overall thoughts. I think I'm gonna give WrestleMania maybe a 7.5.
Okay.
Overall, between the two nights, I think coming into it, because the listeners should know I've been very, very busy, raising a whole baby and all this things. So I've been tangentially following a lot of storylines, but I'm like catching up on the storylines before WrestleMania, and I'm like, oh man, I'm so geeked up about some of these storylines. And there's some storylines that I was geeked up about. I was like, okay, they delivered, but there were some storylines where I'm like not invested in, but I'm like, okay, there's at least going to be a good match. And then I was kind of like, I don't know. It just feels like, meh. Like it was okay. Like it was okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It had great moments, but it was just okay. I don't know. I thought it was okay. Like 7.5. It was okay. So again, we're gonna talk about like some of the highlights of the night or just things we want to talk about. So OD kind of started us off where it ended. We get John Cena winning his 17th title, officially becoming the GOAT, the greatest of all time. Maybe he beats Ric Flair's. He beat Ric Flair's record, and he threatens to walk out with the title. Highlights from this match were probably the entrances, in the sense of John Cena comes out to the black. He's dressed in all black. It's the same motif but black. I was like, oh, this is cool. The last time is now is on his towel. He's looking mean. His Titantron is just black. John Cena.
For a second, I thought it was. For a second, I thought Imperium was coming out because it was just in black and white with just the word John Cena on it. Just
the words. It was great. The presentation was great. It's like we've been waiting years for heel John Cena, and like this is what it is. And then not only that, but he promised, like he said, I'm gonna win this title. And y'all keep thinking. I saw people like, oh, he'll come back for SummerSlam, blah, blah, blah. He's like, no, I'm not coming back. Like, and I kind of hope I truly kind of hope he sticks to that. Like that is so funny to me. So and Cody Rhodes has a great entrance. Mo, what did you think about the match overall? I saw some divisive to say thoughts about it online. Where do you fall on that? Was the match good or was it not?
The match was mostly just fine. Like it was the most definition of fine I've ever seen. It's John Cena is not necessarily known for his work rate. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's what they used as the build up to this. Like Cody kept telling him he can't wrestle. So
yeah. And so because of that, I would have thought that I think John Cena he took that and leaned into it and just stuck to like the most John Cena-ish moves you could possibly find, axe handles and STFUs and literally just like, and because of that, I respect him and I respect the psychology of the match in and of itself for that. But overall, like the match was still just fine. Like it's not blowing anybody's mind. It's not making anybody's top 10 at the end of the year. It was just fine, and I'm okay with that, especially if this is the John Cena that we're getting.
Yeah. So it was kind of funny. I was like, oh my god, I think he's trolling us. Like at the beginning of the match, I was like, he's sticking to the same 5 moves. Like. This whole buildup was you can't wrestle. Everybody hates you because you do the 5 moves of doom. And he's like, I don't care. He's like, I'm going to be in the history books. You're going to be mad because every time they talk about the history books, they're going to have to say my name. And I looked at it as like, he's trolling. He's saying that this is his absolute last WrestleMania match. He is not going all out. He's like, I'm going to just do these moves. I'm going to give you these 5 moves and you can hate it or love it. And I thought it was great. I mean, well, when you look at it like that, the match itself wasn't entertaining. Like it wasn't entertaining,
No,
but
it wasn't.
like we said, like the psychology of it, just being like, I'm not going to put on a show for you guys. He said he doesn't like the audience. He said he doesn't care about, showing out for them and proving something to them. So it makes everything in line, but it doesn't make something, great to watch. We do see Odie. We see that Cody gets the chance to hit John Cena with this hardcore belt that Travis Scott has, or was it the regular belt? It doesn't matter. He got a chance to hit him with the belt. He chose not to. He chose not to sell his soul. John Cena hit him with another nut shot and was able to take the belt off of him. Did you think this was good storytelling? Cody keeping his soul but losing his title?
Yeah, I mean, it pretty much is his whole arc of being like, on this hero's journey, and he still has to be like the Avenger. He has to be like Captain America. Although he was more like Iron Man with that mask he had on.
Yeah, I actually wanted to point that out. You said it was a good entrance. I would argue it was, with the exception of that mask.
It was I was very confused when he came out because I was like, who is that? Like, who's this random person
with the mask that opens up through the jaw? And I'm just like, this is ridiculous, Cody. I hope you lose just for that.
I do feel like it stands on Cody's story. So I guess in that sense, they're being consistent. So I would say it's like, okay, storytelling. You're just sticking with what you know. Like, I think that, like, you've talked about this before about like you wanting, or you thinking that like maybe Cody later in the years will become a heel. And I feel like if that was a story arc that they wanted to pursue later, that could be like the little cracks in his armor.
It could start now. Yeah, essentially.
Now. I agree.
I think, just so like, because to me, I don't like when sometimes these certain things happen out of nowhere. Like for me personally, the John Cena turning heel and going against Cody, that to me felt like out of nowhere because it just didn't fit into his story. So and maybe because we also don't see him often in wrestling in general, except for like a, hey, what's up? But even then, it's always like Mr. Nice Guy or whatever, regardless of whether the fans like hate him or not. So I feel like they just. Oh, continue.
Sorry. I was just gonna say WWE did a good job of their Road to WrestleMania playlist, where they actually, like, it reminded me of a whole bunch of stuff between John and Cody that I had totally forgot about. So I can definitely see what you mean by like it could seem like it came out of left field, but it could be WWE retroactively selling those seeds. Like, look, we played this all along, but if they did or they didn't, there was a really good setup, because I did forget that John Cena was one of those people who came out last year at WrestleMania to help Cody win the title. John took out Solo and hit an attitude adjustment on Roman. So like it had been slowly leading up to that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's good backstory, because I mean, for me, obviously, I don't have all the backstories on a lot of these people. So I'm like, for like people who have been watching consistently for years, it's like, oh, that makes sense. I guess for me, like sometimes I'm like, well, how did that happen?
You just need a reminder, because I know you saw. Believe me, I know you saw everything in that playlist. I needed the reminder too. I do like, that's why WWE is so accessible to the fans, more so than your AEWs and your TNAs, because they just make that information way more acceptable, and they don't expect you to remember or know like they do in other promotions. So I just wanted to point out that they were able to like remind people about that. So don't feel like that went over your head. So I mean, overall, I think this is going to be great. I agree with you, Odie. Like, they have a lot of room to turn Cody heel later. My thought process is, because we're in the speculating portion now. I think what's going to happen is he's going to leave, and everybody's going to be like trying to call him and be like, and I bet they're going to be like, no, he's gone. And so with him being gone, Jay is the new world heavyweight champion. Everybody's coming after Jay. And this puts Cody and Jay on a collision course as well. And I could definitely see Cody getting that hunger to try and get back the title. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, you know, starting at Money in the Bank, you know, just Cody chasing until finally maybe he realizes if he wants to get back at the top, he has to do something devious to do so. You know what I'm saying? So, but I love the storyline of everybody coming for Jay, because that's what they always say about the titles. Like, once you have the title, the target is on your back, you know?
Yes.
And it'd be really cool with Jay being such an over baby face for him to have to constantly watch his back from people. You know what I'm saying? So now that he's the lone champion in the company. So I could see that being something really fun, especially since Money in the Bank is back in June now. You know, yeah. And so I can really see that happening. Any speculations on what can happen with the title if John Cena is officially gone?
It's funny that you say that you speculate that Jay will have a target on his back, because I agree with you in that okay. It also coincides with the other pretty big thing that happened on WrestleMania weekend, which was the Seth Rollins, Paul Heyman alliance that seemed to be formed.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think that's the very first program that we're probably going to see is Jay versus Seth Rollins, because if you're gonna have like a massive like thing like that where Paul Heyman is aligning himself with Seth Rollins, and I guess like Seth Rollins like you take this time to rebuild him and build him up as like the next big threat. And part of that, in my mind, seems to be like that he needs to have the title around his waist. So for me, I see him colliding with Jay in that regard.
And what title did he get?
The triple threat.
Triple threat.
He didn't even win. Yeah, it was a non-title match. That Seth won.
Oh,
I can see that. Like, it's going to be very, very interesting how they navigate one title again, because it's been what, 2 years since they created that secondary title during Roman's really long reign, something to that effect. So 2 years. So and when Roman was holding the championship hostage and it was only one, I normally like it when there's two titles. I really do. So I see what you're saying, Mo. Like, why do all that for Seth if you're not gonna build him up? And they have a Punk's not going anywhere. Roman's not going anywhere. So Jay is gonna have a lot of people coming for him, and I like that. And while we're at it, I mean, we might as well talk about that triple threat: the Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk triple threat. I thought the triple threat itself was pretty good. But I think it gets overshadowed by Paul Heyman. It's not a turn. I don't know, not a turn, but Paul Heyman switching allegiances to Seth Rollins. Thoughts, Mo?
Yeah, like first off, I love that you will not say that it's a heel turn, because Paul Heyman in and of himself, he's a heel. Like, he's a heel wise man, he's a heel advocate, he's a heel voice of whoever. Like, so it's just Paul being Paul. It's just so happened that Paul was Paul twice in one night. Like, he just so happened to be himself twice in one night at the expense of CM Punk. and Roman Reigns.
Exactly. Some people said it was a double heel turn. I was like, where? Like, what are we talking about here? Where's the mean things? Yeah.
No. But no, like outside of Paul being Paul, the match was a lot of fun, I would say. Like it was very competitive, and I love like a lot of the spots, especially the one spot where like everybody turned around and did their finishes on each other and laid each other out. Like that spot was so fun. Like I thoroughly enjoyed that. But of course, everybody's gonna remember this because not only and I'm not sure if you remember this, but Paul Heyman not only did the nut shot to CM Punk, but he did the nut shot to Roman and lingered a little bit. Like I've seen people online talk about like it was, he did it as if he was looking for keys in his pocket.
Yes, like Heyman reluctantly, please stop moving your arm. Like,
what I have to do with it.
That's what it did.
Heyman, it looked like Paul Heyman reluctantly hit CM Punk in the nuts. He was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry for this. But then when he hit Roman, he was like, I've been waiting for this. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Which makes like sense, honestly.
It makes sense because I remember this, but the WWE universe might not remember this. Mari, do you remember when at one point during the Bloodline saga, like Roman turned on Paul Heyman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's been so long.
Right. Like he just like kicked him to the wayside, and then after a while,
build up. It was during the Brock build up, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, he did like I'm not sure if he did a Superman punch or a spear to him, but he did something to him. And then like a few months later, they were back together. And in my mind, last night was Paul being like, Paul remembers.
Yeah.
Oh, you thought Paul forgot? You thought Paul forgot that bullshit that you did to me a few years ago? Nope.
Yeah.
Paul remembers.
Because being the wise man, I feel like he gets so much crap and he takes so much crap and has to be so docile. You know, he's like the freaking king's hand. And we see what happens. Sometimes, you know, that resentment builds up and you get a shot in the nuts.
A shot in the nuts. And this is going to be cool because everybody used to love wanting to be a Heyman guy. And so Seth as a Heyman guy is going to be amazing. So I think that was probably my favorite like main event out of the two main events. Out of the two main events. Not my favorite match of the weekend. My favorite match of the weekend.
Can I guess?
Yeah. Oh, well, and then I already said it.
Yeah, you already did. You already said it. Yeah.
And I'm assuming you would have guessed that one, right?
Yes, that is exactly the one that I was going to guess.
Why wouldn't it be?
Because why wouldn't it be? Bianca Belair versus Io Sky and Rhea Ripley. Oh my God. Those
three of my favorite ladies.
They tore the house down. Like, they announced they were going first, and we all kind of, I felt like we kind of knew where it was gonna go. But like, I was just like, the matches in these three women's hands, it's gonna be good, right?
Yes.
But it was better than I anticipated. The just fast pacedness of it, just boom, 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 boom. I was like, oh my God, she's gonna win. She's gonna win. She's gonna win. Bianca's working heel because she got booed on SmackDown on Friday. She'd been booed all through Europe. She's working heel and then getting pops in the night. Like, it was just, everybody was behind Io. So good. Like, it felt like they were like throwing hands for real. Shout out Joseph in the chat saying they should have closed night 2.
That would have honestly been amazing.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Joseph. They should have. They really should have closed it out.
Because them opening the show really did put the rest of the show at a disadvantage. I was really just like, this
or
is just
ended night 2 at least. But they're not. Yeah. It's just like having Missy Elliott go before Lady Gaga at Coachella when Missy Elliott is going to blow her out the water. Like, you can't just put who you think is like the ones that people don't care about in the front, because those ones are those underdogs are going to be better than everybody else, and they're going to be the ones taking over the scene and overshadowing your whole entire thing. Versus if it was the other way around, I would have been like, wow, that was night one was amazing, because look at how the matches ended.
I mean, the spot where I wrote it down, the spot where it was like Io goes for the over the moonsault, but Rhea gets the boot up. Io goes into the KOD, and then Rhea breaks up the pin. That was just chef's kiss.
Yes, that was beautiful.
The actual finish, you know?
Yeah.
I love watching the athleticism with three of them. Like when I say like those are my three favorites, like those are some of my three favorite women in wrestling, and I would just say in wrestling in general. Like they are always on. They're always like, it never looks phoned in. Everything about them is always just like at the top. They're being athletes, but they're also serving looks all the time.
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Serving.
Yeah,
they are serving.
Looks. That's so true.
And they're doing it and making it look fucking easy. Like you can see how much work they are putting into every single facet of their profession, like, and showing their love and dedication to it. And I wish more women in wrestling had their like joie de vivre. Like, I wish they would take some notes from them so that they can get on that level.
That, like, there were just so many great spots, like Io getting that offense off, celebrating just for Bianca to spear her, like, ridiculous. Io retaining by Rhea bouncing her head off of the off of the turnbuckle first and foremost. Bianca hitting the KOD on Rhea, going for the pin, and Io breaking up the pin with the moonsault and pinned Bianca. I'm glad Io retained. I definitely didn't want them to make her look stupid, but Bianca takes the pin here, Mo. What?
Yeah, that was the most surprising thing out of all of this, because in my mind, even if Io won, I thought that Bianca wouldn't get pinned, and she could keep her WrestleMania record of never being pinned in WrestleMania in all of her WrestleMania matches. But no, she took that clean pin, and by the way, like, before I even forget about this, can we just have a compilation of every time Bianca uses her hair as a whip?
Yes, please. We need it.
Yeah, just
it
should be a beat of something, because she be making that.
Maybe I whip my hair back and forth or something. I don't know.
Yes, do it too. I whip my hair back and forth, but like every time they say fourth, they have the whip crack of somebody getting hit in the side with it.
Ooh, or
correct me if I'm wrong. Rhea didn't touch her hair before she used it either. I don't think she did.
No, I don't think so. I know. I don't think she did.
Telltale heel Bianca. That's telltale heel Bianca. So, and Bianca was definitely wrestling heel this whole match. So, I was shocked that Bianca took the pin, but I think it makes sense, because those streaks are just kind of like too much. You know what I'm saying? Like the Undertaker's was great and all that stuff, but that pressure of having those streaks, it kind of curtails your storytelling. It's kind of like when Charlotte had her streak going, and it was just like, oh my God, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it pigeonholes the writings. And Bianca is so good. She does not need the win. She doesn't need the title. So what I'm thinking is going to happen is Bianca takes the pin. We saw Naomi come out on SmackDown. So Bianca is going to be mad because she's gonna say, my head was all messed up going into that match because of Naomi and Jade, and she might make them try and work it out, whatever, but that's gonna be her excuse. She's like, I wasn't in it because of you two, and I'm pissed now. You know what I'm saying? And then I think this helps because Io and Rhea can continue their feud because Rhea wasn't pinned. So Rhea can continue to chase Io. And I think everybody comes out of this match like just looking great. Like literally everybody came out of this match looking amazing.
Yeah, and that's the mark of a really good match when everybody comes in looking stronger or better than they did entering it.
Yeah, because just because you get pinned, like to me, like some of these matches, it's really just a kind of stroke of luck. It's like if you're both great wrestlers, it's like, yeah, you get pinned, all right, but Bianca is still the EST, okay? She's always going to be. And so this doesn't take away anything from like her legacy or like where she's going, because I'm sure plenty of people will be looking at it and being like, but wait, this, and just having the exact same opinion that you did and be like, well, I'm not even counting that one, she was robbed. And continuing on, because as Bianca stan, I too feel like they need to put some respect on her name and give her money's worth. But
but I agree. It's really being able to be a great character, a good wrestler, and connecting with the audience. If you have all of that, the wins and losses, quote unquote, don't matter if you can still be compelling. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I always come on this podcast and I say, I don't have to worry about Bianca. Like, I don't have to worry about Bianca not in the title picture, because no matter what Bianca does, she's going to make it work and she's going to pull the eyes and focus to her. She never needed a title. They keep giving her titles because she's that good. You know what I'm saying? She doesn't need a title like some people. Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like...
I was so glad of the outcome of that.
It just is. And then Io is so freaking over. I love how everybody, like, this was a perfect way to get people behind Io, because people have always been behind Io, but it always feels muted. It always has felt muted. And I think it's not her, it's her booking. People didn't want to get we don't want to get excited, because every time it feels like Io is getting pushed, every time it feels like something's going to happen, she gets pushed to the wayside, or everything is overlooked. So they did a great job of telling this, because this is exactly the story. This was the story. We didn't think she'd had this title, right, Mo?
Right. And I'm not trying to be weird or anything like that. No, seriously. No, but I
says the weirdest thing.
And then I say the weirdest thing ever. Proceeds. Yeah, no, it feels as though they're correcting with Io what they couldn't with Asuka in a way.
Okay.
If that makes sense, because like
no, that makes sense.
Asuka is she is hands down one of the greats. She's gonna go down as a legend, but like her booking was always dog shit. Like even when she had the championship, she never was booked like she was a champion, unlike other people.
Yeah, she was never the center of the story.
She was never the center of the story or anything like that. I think they're actually giving Io a chance, and it's resonating with the audience. It's resonating with the WWE crowds. People are cheering. You heard her get cheered when she entered in her, which by the way is one of the best songs, theme songs for any wrestler to come out. That I'm like, that is badass, and I love it every single time. But it does seem like they're doing right by her, and I love that, and I'm happy for her.
Exactly.
They all deserve.
And then on the flip side, Rhea chasing after having the title for so long is good too. Like her fans, like there's no lose here. Like it's not here. Like it just isn't. So that has to go down as the best pure match of the two nights for me.
And nobody had
and not just be. Yeah, and not just because those are my faves or anything like that. It really was a great match.
Yeah,
I do want to talk about Naomi and Jade, right? Because coming
really good
in,
match as well.
yeah, a really good match. Coming into it, when I tell you, I was like, yes, oh my, get her. Like Naomi's freaking promos have been so good.
Yeah.
I've always loved heel Naomi. I say it all the time. Naomi working heel is like the best thing ever, just because it just feels so real. It just feels like her. Like they dropped this promo just a few days before WrestleMania, where it's showing her and Jade getting ready for WrestleMania, and she's like, I don't even want to watch this for real. Like I'm still like traumatized about it. And then she's like, low-key, Jade overdid it with the attack. She's like, girl, I just pushed you a little bit. It was so funny. She dead ass said, I just pushed you. I just pushed you. It wasn't that big of a deal. And and yes, Joseph rightfully points out a good match between Jade and Naomi. First singles women match with no stip in WrestleMania history. First one-on-one women's match since WrestleMania 22. Like fantastic, right? And I think the feud was so good simmering coming into it, and I thought it was amazing. I did think that the match was like good, but I don't know if I could confidently say it was great. I do feel like it was a little slower than the, like we just talked about, Bianca, Rhea, and Io. But I think it's because the storytelling was so good. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like, I really felt like, oh, these two women hate each other. Yes. And then for them to come in and do like just a regular match just didn't feel like it lived up to the story we were telling. And it's not that I wanted it to have like to be a street fight or anything like that. I just kind of wish there was just a tad bit more fire. Am I off base with this?
No, you're not. You wanted a little bit more aggression, and there should have been a little bit more aggression, especially with it's one of the only stories coming into WrestleMania that actually had a story that was like built up over weeks and actual months.
Yeah.
You know? So like you wanted there to be a little bit more fire. But having said that though, the match itself was good.
Still good.
Naomi, she made Jade look great. And Jade looks great, regardless. And they both did in fact, it was, I would say, because it came on. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I might be getting this jumbled up. Didn't it come on after the New Day War Raiders match? Or
no, it came on. I think it was before. It came on after Jay and Gunther. I think it came on second.
Right.
I think it was Jay, Gunther, them, and then the New Day.
Yeah, I just remember.
Yeah. Or wait. No. You're right. Because it was Jay and Gunther, then the New Day. Yeah. Because I remember thinking, oh, the New Day came on right after Jay. I know they probably said congrats to him in the back. So I think you're right. New Day was second. They were third. Yeah.
Yeah, because yes, they were third, and I remember thinking like, oh, I'm having more fun than I had with the match before. That was my initial thought, and that's why I remembered it was the New Day before then. No offense to the New Day, and no offense to War Raiders, but that match.
Offense to War Raiders.
Yeah, great offense.
Not great offense. Odie, did you think the match lacked a little passion, or?
Well, I would say like because of obviously the story between Naomi and Jade and Bianca, they were like the three besties. I loved it so much, and it seemed like they had this friendship that was like close. I do agree with you, Mari, that I feel like there should have been a little bit more fire, because if you're beefing with like a stranger, like you might like you're gonna be mad, but if you're beefing with your bestie, those hits are gonna go harder.
Exactly.
Okay, you want to know why? Because you love each other, and you always get the most pissed off at someone you love hurting you, or you guys are in a fight. Because Naomi is mad at Jade because what she did was obviously not good. Or sorry,
Jade is mad at Naomi
because what Naomi did to her was not good. That was a betrayal. So you would say like, yeah, I'm gonna beat the bricks off you because why are you acting like that? And then of course they have these back and forth, which yes, did Naomi deserve it? Yes, because she shouldn't have done that. But that would have made her even more hyped up because she's like, you're not about to embarrass me in front of everybody. And we're friends. You know you shouldn't talk about my mom like that. I'm going to fuck you up. And that's what you needed. That's the energy that you needed. Like the energy that we got from the Bianca and Io, like that fight, the Rhea fight, that was like, love that energy because it was like, I'm hungry. We're angry. But this one, they could have had, it could have been more razzle dazzle.
And we do got to give them grace.
They are.
Yes, and we do got to give them grace because in a triple threat, it's really easy to keep the pace fast because you can have two people fighting while somebody rests, and then
take a little rest.
They swap out. Yeah. But I will say I think it also is just because we've seen Jade and Naomi just like keep running up and beating on each other for weeks on weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like they kept brawling so many times that like that was what we saw and we felt. But if you can't maintain a brawl level, you know, for so long sometimes. So I mean they started out good. You know, again, they probably need to work each other a little bit more to get a little bit more of a flow to it.
Sure.
I could definitely see like my thought process going forward for them is again Bianca's gonna be pissed because she lost, and I think she's gonna blame the two of them. And I think what I'm assuming Naomi said Bianca left her on red, and I think what we're gonna get is the continued tug of war of Naomi and Jade trying to get Bianca on side.
Do you think this is going to be a KO and
Sammy
situation where they're going back and forth, being best friends? This is for either of you to answer because I've been thinking about that. Like, are we going to have this like roller coaster relationship between either Naomi and Jade, Naomi, Bianca and Jade? Like, how's it going to go? And are they going to come back together? Because I would personally like see the three amigos.
I think where this ultimately ends has to be Bianca versus Jade.
Yeah, that's where I see it going too.
And I don't want that, but I think they're. You know what? But honestly, if that happens, I feel like it'll be a good, clean fight, and they'll be both like, "Listen, we're both bad bitches, but I'm pissed off at you for whatever the reasons on each side." Ooh. They're gonna fight it out. And after the match, they're going to be like, all right, let's go.
I like this. Joseph asks, will Naomi demand Bianca join her to challenge whoever the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions are after Tuesday? Apparently, Gigi Dolan and Tatum Paxley challenged Becky and Lyra to that match, which we didn't even get back. We didn't even talk about Becky coming back. That was great.
That was great. Okay. Like it was. You know what? It was a fun thing that happened.
Exactly.
Honestly,
what it was.
It in between you and me, Mari, it wasn't even the most shocking surprise of the night because that goes to Joe Hendry. Say his name and he appears. But no, seeing Becky Lynch come back was fun, and I'm glad that now she's back. She looks great too.
She was hurt. She looks for a while.
No, she wasn't hurt. She just went to raise a kid and chill.
Okay. Well, I'm glad she's back. Good for her. I love that.
Say his name and
was Becky Lynch also in Damage Control?
No, Becky Lynch. You're thinking of Bailey.
Bailey was in Damage Control. Becky was in what?
No, she wasn't in a group.
She wasn't in a group. Yeah.
So but the funny thing is I didn't realize this was for the titles at first. I was like, oh, they're just fighting. Because that whole Bailey being taken out thing was like, oh, okay. But it was like, I don't know. Maybe we'll speculate about that later. But I do want to just go back to like the whole, I could definitely see one of the GMs being like, okay, Bianca, we'll let you try for the tag team belts, pick one. Like pick one of them, and that could be like the crux of it all, or whatever. But I don't know. I thought Becky coming back was great. I really don't like speculating about. I know that's the whole wrestling thing. It's like, oh, what happened backstage? It's like, oh my God, with Mercedes tweeting at Bayley. Is it like, oh, is Bayley fed up with the WWE? Is she gonna go? Did they? Because she's not injured. She's not legitimately injured.
No.
So they told her it was last minute. So it's like all this speculation, and I'm like, what if it was just like Bayley was like, oh, Becky wants to come back? Sure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my whole
Who
thing.
knows?
They could be a tag team.
Who knows? Who knows?
No.
Like, I just initially, my knee-jerk reaction has been ever since, like, I think it was listen, Bayley is an amazing worker, and she might be, outside of Sasha, she might be my favorite of the 4 horsewomen.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's not a maybe.
Yeah, she is. She quite frankly is. So like when I heard that she wasn't gonna be wrestling on WrestleMania weekend, she was taken out in storyline. I was just like, my knee-jerk reaction was to go, poor Bayley. Like, but you're absolutely right. It could have just been as simple as, oh, Becky wants to come back. Boom, here's a spot for her. It's all good. It's fine. Like, it could have been something that had been planned out a long time ago anyway. Who knows, you know?
Yeah, it could have been like Bayley was a stand-in until
I
they
just want to
figured out what
always
happened with Becky.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Or this could go into like another interesting whodunit program. Like, who knows? Like, apparently that was very fun with Jade and Naomi and Bianca. So like this could just be another whodunit.
Run it back. Yeah. So all right, we can't be on here all night. I'm trying to go to sleep. Let's talk about some what the fuck moments, some WTF moments from over the weekend. I will start. Stone Cold Steve Austin ran somebody over with an ATV.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He really did. And that was funny, and I laughed hard as soon as I saw that. Him just riding his dumb little ATV and crashing into that poor woman. And then he went back. Did y'all see that he tried to go back to, like, I guess say sorry or see if everything was okay, but Nick Khan was out there, and he was
Nick
just
Khan
like,
was there.
move along.
They don't want to. They don't want to exacerbate the lawsuit. If Stone Cold Steve Austin runs me over, I am owning a piece of WrestleMania. Like, I'm getting 1% of WWE. I need a front seat. I need snacks. I need merch. I need money. Okay, you don't want me to go on here. I need it all. Okay, what did Kendrick Lamar say?
I deserve it all.
Yes. I was like, oh. That was so funny. Mo, do you have a what the fuck moment of the night? There's a lot to still choose from.
So it was more of like what the fuck is this human being actually, because like Braun Breaker had a few spots that made me go what the fuck, you know what I mean? Like him spearing Carlito into the announce table, like him just running and jumping, and like he is a freak. He is a human freak. And I know that's also part of his gimmick because he's a Steiner and everything like that. But also, like, what is he made out of? And how can I inject that into my body so that I can be made out of that stuff too? Not drugs, but
I think you might need some drugs.
Blood.
You did all that.
I want blood.
The blood. Okay.
For me, when Travis Scott came out, because what the fuck?
Really? That truly what I was like. What
the fuck?
Walking all slow. What is happening?
And
like,
even
when
they
pissed me off.
Like beat him up when Cody Rhodes did, what was the move on him?
The Crossroads.
Yes. Even when he did that, like I was like, all right.
And
cool.
he wouldn't get out the ring. He wouldn't roll out the ring.
The thing is, I know he wasn't really that hurt, so I can't even feel, like if it was a real one, and he was limping off the thing, I would have been like, all right, good, got your ass.
He oversold the Crossroads. He oversold it. And you know what? In my opinion, that's fine, only because he really did smack Cody Rhodes in the head at Elimination Chamber, and
Cody should have gave him a receipt.
Cody should have given him a receipt.
Get your lick back,
the
Cody.
least you could do is make my final move look super powerful, and now you're paralyzed, and I have to drag you out of the ring.
Oh my god, that pissed me off so much.
That was so weird.
Get out of here. I don't believe you.
So
Bad
stupid.
Bunny, I believe he's a lifelong wrestling fan. Travis Scott,
yes. I hate Logan Paul for the life of me, but at least he is committed.
Yeah. I just hate every time. I'm so mad that he won over AJ Styles.
I see.
That's a what the fuck moment.
Another what the fuck moment. Yo, Tiffany's teeth.
Yeah.
And then them being dressed exactly alike. Like, fuck you. Why would you do this?
That was I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to come off weird, but they did look alike, and it was confusing for a little bit. Like
every time they were rolling around, I was like, oh god. Like
the two blonde athletic women in this ring, like talk about a mess of a match. Like it wasn't terrible, but boy oh boy, like there were a few spots where they just were not on the same page.
This is Charlotte Timo. It's like you put on these sloppy ass matches, but it comes off like it's passion, it's anger. They're really mad at each other. Like no, this shit was sloppy, yo. It was sloppy and dangerous. Like stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid. But yeah, back to those teeth. Like no, like I hope she's okay. I hope Tiffany's okay. Like
now I'm gonna go back and look at her teeth because I need to go look. I'm looking it up right now because now I can't remember. Really bad. And I need to know.
It looked like they knocked her. It looked like she like had veneers or something, and then like knocked them off. Like
they looked off.
No. Oh, why did I start typing in on Google? It said Tiffany Strand Tooth WrestleMania.
Yeah, she was at the. I don't watch those press conference things, but they said but they said that she had like them fixed, but maybe she just had a flipper in probably or something until she could really
oh geez, she does look like she got veneers and you know how they shave your teeth down?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Either that or there's some.
No, she needs to go to Roman's guy. Or Roman's person. Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Any other moments before we get out of here? I'm good to probably get out of here. I mean, Joe Hendry, like I don't know much about him. The rumor was that it was supposed to be Rusev, and I was actually glad it wasn't Rusev. I was like, I don't want it to be Rusev. Yeah. And then it was Joe Hendry. I was like, okay. I was like, the audience seems to be having fun, so good for them. Like,
I think I even told you before the match started. I was like, it's probably gonna be Rusev.
Everybody,
but I'm glad it wasn't Rusev.
Me too.
I'm glad it wasn't Rusev. I'm glad. Just like let him come back in a proper way. Like let us. And there's a part of me that wants him to come back as Miro as opposed to just going right back to Rusev. But that's speculation for another time. I'm glad that Joe Hendry got the spot that he did. He's a fun dude to have on any program. I loved his stuff in NXT. I'm not the biggest TNA watcher, so like I'm not familiar with what he's done. I just know him from the memes, like say his name and he appears. It's Joe Hendry, and I love his song. Like if I could figure out how to make a ringtone on an iPhone, I would have his ringtone as thank you, so that I can make it that. And anytime someone texts me, it'll just be say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry.
That's hilarious. People like truly loved it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad of that. Overall, that's it, people. Please reach out to us, reach out to the Wrestling Kickback. You can find us over on Blue Sky. We're still on the Bad Place as well, unfortunately. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@Recap Kickback. Odie, can you give out your plugs? Where can the people find you guys?
All right. Well, you can find me, my personal account on Instagram, Twitter, and I'm on TikTok too. On TikTok, it's That's OD333, and then Instagram and Twitter, it's That's OD. And then you can find the Black and Snerdy Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, Anchor, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. Just look for the Black and Snerdy Podcast. And you can find Maurice over here on Twitter and Instagram as Licorice is Legit. So please look us up, find our podcast, like, subscribe, comment, share, etc., 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 because we'd love to hear from you.
Yes. Thank you everyone for hanging in here with us. It is late. Oh my gosh.
Sure
I know
is.
they're having fun over there in Vegas though, because
Of course they are.
They really are.
I know.
And they're 3 hours ahead of us, so they're not even at midnight yet. So they're going to be partying for the night all night long.
Yeah.
I love that. Mo, you
oh no, I was gonna say, did you see the press conference where Jey Uso was super drunk?
Oh, I heard. I didn't see it. I definitely heard though.
Don't judge my boo. Okay, he deserves it. All right, he was working hard.
As long as he doing a lot, we're all good. So
exactly.
So yes, thanks everybody. Please reach out to us. Let us know what you're thinking. Again, next week, me and Matt will be back to break down everything from WrestleMania and the fallout. Hopefully, we have some really good fallout for this week. For the week coming up. So just stick with us. Thank you for being here. And remember, wrestling isn't for everybody, but I say it wrong every time when I'm really tired. All wrestling isn't for everyone. Wrestling's for everybody. Whatever. You ain't gotta go home, but get the out of here. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Just tryna wrestle, I'ma show you what I do, If you come for Matt and Murray, I'ma come for you, Raw, WWE, they break it down for you, Steve Austin, Undertaker, bring it into you. Round 1, round 2, what y'all finna do? Round 1, round 2, Wrestling Kickback new. We the best podcast, come and give a view. Champion just like I'm Sasha, you know that is true.